Does astrology influence everyone? Or can magicians control its forces? Magicians can certainly control the forces behind astrology, but not the planetary forces themselves. Astrology deals with the effects of these forces. It describes how the planets influence everything that exists. And what are the planetary forces? They are forces, frequencies, and vibrations of great power, which people without special skills may not always perceive as distinctly separate. However, they undoubtedly influence everyone. There are magical practices that take astrology into account in addition to everything else. It's always beneficial to consider astrological aspects, as no knowledge is harmful. Even if it serves only as an additional detail to the main magical practice, it helps rather than hinders. Magicians consider the astrological features of space and time, and adjust their actions accordingly, so that planetary forces can act as catalysts to intensify their current work or initiate long-term processes. These planetary energies can serve as catalysts, amplifiers, and accelerators of processes, as well as inhibitors, decelerators, and blockers of certain processes. It all depends on your magical task. Sometimes you need one effect, and sometimes another. Therefore, you should take into account the astrological features of the space and time in which you live and practice. And under no circumstances should you neglect them. Mages who possessed this knowledge throughout history, at least in the periods known to us, sought to harness these forces for their own needs, and even created special items to store certain energies. In other words, they charged amulets and talismans at moments when specific planetary energies reached their maximum influence, in order to use such an amulet or talisman as an accumulator at a moment when these energies would be insufficient and needed for magical practice. That is probably all I can say in response to your question, colleague.